Chalo everyone, let's go ahead and now start the next chapter. The next chapter over here is tax invoice. Sir, can you give us a quick linking? Yes, Baba, let's go ahead and take a quick linking. Tax invoice ka chapter. Listen to me very carefully. We started learning GST with goods or service. Goods or service has to be supplied. Sir, then supply can be either interstate supply or supply can be either intrastate supply. Interstate supply, I GST will be levied. Intrastate supply, C GST will be levied. One GST is levied, sir. It has to be collected and paid by a taxable person. How will he go ahead and collect? He will calculate GST is equal to value of supply into rate of tax. Once you know the value, you will have to go ahead and raise a tax invoice. Credit note, debit note and delivery challan will come. Everyone listen to me very carefully over here. Sir, value of supply, once you go ahead and calculate the value, once you know the rate of tax, you will know the GST. Now what are you waiting for? You have to go ahead. You have to go ahead and raise a tax invoice. Everyone listen to me very carefully. The next chapter comes tax invoice. Tax invoice ka chapter, when you go ahead and read, you will read section number 31 which talks about the tax invoices. Section number 32 talks about prohibition. Section number 33, the tax amount should be shown separately, and then credit note and debit note is section number 34, and delivery challan will come, which is rule number 55. Sir, what kind of a chapter it is? See, I believe it's an A graded chapter. Why A graded, sir? Because if you don't know this chapter, everyone listen to me very carefully. If you don't know this chapter, many other chapters can get impacted. So please learn this chapter well. Even there is a small amendment in the chapter which I'll be telling you in the course of teaching. Done, sir. Let's go ahead. Tax invoice, credit note and debit note. Everyone over here now. Tax invoice section number 31 is there. Section number 31 subsection 1 goes ahead and says, sir, tax invoice in case of goods. When will you go ahead and raise the tax invoice in case of goods? Sir, if the supply involves movement, then on or before or at the time of removal, before or at the time of removal of goods from a factory or office, you should go ahead and raise the invoice. Any other case means, sir, where the supply does not involve movement, might be I am selling my whole building. In the building there is a machine which is there. Machine also I am going ahead and selling. You told, sir, leave the machine as it is where it is condition may. There is no movement. As it is where it is, I sold the machine. In that scenario they are telling, when you are giving the delivery, Baba, delivery does not mean delivery boy has to go take and go. Delivery means when the risk and rewards are being transferred, or when you make it available, the machine is available for you. That time you should go ahead and make the invoice. Done, sir. Tax invoice in case of goods. Sir, when you are going ahead and raising the tax invoice in case of goods, please go ahead and show description, quantity, value, tax, such other particulars as told in rule number 46. DQVTS. Okay, sir. DQVTS has to be shown. Tax invoice in case of goods has to be triplicate. Triplicate means one for the king, customer, the recipient, second for the transporter, third for the supplier. There are three invoices to be raised. Done, sir. Three copy basically of one invoice. Then section number 31(2) went ahead and told tax invoice in case of services. In case of services, tax invoice when you are going ahead and raising, sir, when should you raise the invoice? On or before. Sir, if I have gone ahead and provided the service today, from here 30 days or 45 days, before or after the provisioning of service, but within 45 days. Everyone, before or after the provisioning of service, but within how many days? 30 days or 45 days. You have to go ahead and show, sir, 45 days in whose case? Everyone over here. Rule number 47, there is a proviso which goes ahead and says that, sir, 45 days in case of NBFI. What is NBFI? NBFC. B for banking company. Sir, F for financial institution, I for insurance company. Remember always, for them, the time limit which is given is 45 days. Okay, sir, to raise the invoice. Always remember one more thing, one more additional point is written over here. If you are an insurance company, banking company, financial institution, NBFC, or additional one point is given, telecom company. So, NBFC, banking company, financial institution, insurance company and telecom company. NBFIT के लिए they have gone ahead and told, see, NBFI should raise invoice within 45 days from the date of provisioning of service. That is simple. Now they have gone ahead and told if there is an NBFIT, then NBFIT has to go ahead and raise when they are going ahead and providing taxable supply of service to distinct person. Means supposingly one bank is there, State Bank of India, and State Bank of India is providing to another State Bank of India some services. Means distinct person ko you are going ahead and providing service. Yes sir, when you are going ahead and providing your services to a distinct person, always remember you should raise the invoice, issue the invoice before or at the time supplier records in his books of account. When you do the book accounting, that time you should raise the invoice, or the maximum time limit they have gone ahead and told before the expiry of the quarter in which the supplies are made. At the last day of the quarter, you should have raised the invoice, either when you go ahead and do the accounting or the last day of the quarter. Done, sir. Point is clear. Now, I went ahead and told you section number 31, section number 31.1 and section number 31.2. Section number 31.1, I went ahead and told you section number 31.1, in case of goods, you should make the invoice at the time of removal, making available or delivery. 2, I went ahead and told 30 days or 45 days, 45 days in case of NBFI. Done, sir. Point is clear. Sir, section number 31.3 has many points which are there. I go ahead and tell it as RN bar SP. Sir, what is it? 31.3 A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Listen to me very carefully. What is A going ahead and telling? R for revised tax invoice, N for no tax invoice in case the value is less than 200. Sir, bill of supply, whenever you are going ahead and supplying exempted goods or you are going ahead and you are a composition dealer, then you will always give a bill of supply. A for advance का केस में receipt voucher, advance का केस में receipt voucher on in case of advance. Sir, R for if advance you are refunding, then you have to go ahead and issue refund voucher. That is also being told over here. S for self invoice. If you are receiving goods or services on which you are going to pay the GST under RCM, sir, you have to go ahead and raise the self invoice if the front party is unregistered. P for payment voucher. Let's go ahead and quickly cover all of them. Section number 31.3. Please come section number 31.3 now. Section number 31.3A goes ahead and says revised tax invoice within 1 month of issuance of registration certificate. Everyone listen to me very carefully. You became liable. You went ahead and applied within 30 days. You applied for registration and here everyone, and here registration certificate is granted. Someone has just woke up telling, sir, NBFI kya hai? Baba, NBFI, I have gone ahead and told it just before some time, 2 times. Yes, sir. Please see over here. Now, NBFC, banking company, insurance and financial institution. चलिए बाबा आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's go ahead. Everyone over here. Now, registration certificate when it is granted, registration certificate shall be made valid from the day you become liable. Now, from the day of becoming liable till the date of grant of registration certificate, whatever supplies you have done, for all those supplies, you can go ahead and issue a revised tax invoice. Okay, sir. Just imagine for all the supplies, you are going ahead and issuing revised tax invoice, then it can become little difficult for you. And hence, government went ahead and told Ramesh, instead of going ahead and individually issuing revised tax invoice, you can go ahead and issue. If you have gone ahead and done intra-state supply, or you have gone ahead and done interstate supplies. These supplies which were done during this period, are they intrastate or interstate? Sir, intra or inter. Remember always, if it is to registered person, consolidated revised tax invoice is not possible. If it is to whom? Registered person, consolidated revised tax invoice is not possible. But if you have gone ahead and done intra or inter to unregistered person, always remember unregistered persons who were there, then in that scenario, just imagine you had sold to 10 people. Now just imagine all those people were unregistered. They were never going to take ITC, and hence in this scenario it is told you are not required to issue any consolidated revised tax. You can go ahead and issue consolidated revised tax invoice. That is what is being told over here. But always remember, in case of interstate, if the value of supply is greater than 2.5 lakh, then in that scenario, consolidated revised tax invoice is not possible. See over here, everyone. For invoice issued between effective date to the date of issuance of registration certificate, you have to issue revised tax invoice. For intrastate supply, issue consolidated revised tax invoice for all taxable supplies made to unregistered person. Intrastate का केस में unregistered person you can issue consolidated revised tax invoice. For interstate also you can issue, but interstate में you can't go ahead and issue no consolidated revised tax invoice if value of supply is greater than 2.5 lakh, because they are known as B2C large invoices. Remember, registered person, you can't go ahead and issue consolidated revised tax invoice, but for unregistered person, whether intra or inter, you can issue consolidated revised tax invoice. But in case of interstate, be very careful. If the value of supply is greater than 2.5 lakh, for that supply, you have to issue individual invoice only. You can't go ahead and make one consolidated revised tax invoice. Okay, sir, point is clear. No consolidated tax invoice, revised tax invoice to for supplies to a registered person, whether intra or inter. Registered person का केस में consolidated revised tax invoice is not possible. Done, sir. Point is clear. Second one goes ahead and says, sir, registered person not to issue invoice except in case of multiplex. Multiplex का केस में even if the value of supply is less than 200, government have told that they have to go ahead and issue invoice. So, sir, registered person not to issue tax invoice if value of supply is less than 200, less than 200 invoice is not required. Be very careful. Plus, recipient is unregistered and recipient does not require. He is not demanding, then you don't have to give any invoice. Okay, sir. Registered person to issue consolidated tax invoice at the end of the day. Supposingly, I am a shopkeeper. Kids came, uncle, 10 rupees ka chocolate, 20 rupees ka chocolate, 30 rupees ka chocolate. Do I have to go ahead and issue invoice for all that 10 rupees, 20 rupees? Government told for all those 10, 20, 30 rupees. At the end of the day, just raise one consolidated invoice in your system. Done. Sir, if I am a person, I am going ahead and supplying exempted goods, or I am going ahead and supplying to whom? I am a composition dealer, or I am going ahead and supplying exempted goods, then I don't have to issue a tax invoice because I am not going to charge any tax. I should go ahead and issue bill of supply, and bill of supply also not required if the value of supply is less than 200. Sir, supposingly one person went ahead and gave me some advance for supply. When I have got an advance, I should always go ahead and issue a receipt voucher. Okay, sir, whenever I receive an advance, I should issue a receipt voucher, but be very careful. Supposingly one person went ahead and gave me an advance and I don't know what is the supply going to be. I don't know if I am going to supply him intra or interstate. Then always assume it to be interstate. Pay IGST to the government. Government has gone ahead and told on receipt of advance, please issue a receipt voucher. If supply is not determinable, intrastate, rate not determinable, take it 18% and accordingly pay the GST to the government. Done, sir. Point is clear. But always remember, you are not required to pay GST on advance in case of supply of goods. Only in case of supply of service, you are required to pay GST on advance to the government. Sir, supposingly one person paid me the advance, later he told, sir, I don't want the supply. I did not supply him, I did not raise a tax invoice also, then I can refund him and issue a refund voucher. Okay, sir, point is clear. Sir, supposingly one person went ahead and supplied me some goods. He is a registered person. If he is a registered person, he will give me a tax invoice. Even if I have to pay the GST under RCM, he will give me a tax invoice. But sir, supposingly that person is an unregistered person, then if he is an unregistered person and I am liable to pay the GST under RCM, I should raise the tax invoice myself. That is known as section number 31(3)(f). It is told, registered person liable to pay the GST under RCM issue an invoice with respect to goods, services or both received from unregistered person on the date of receipt. Everyone listen to me very carefully. There is a registered person, there is an unregistered person. They have gone ahead and done a supply to me. Okay? And I am liable to pay the GST under RCM. He, being a registered person, will give you a tax invoice. In that tax invoice, he'll say, please pay the GST under RCM. That's it. But if there is an unregistered person, he will not give you a GST ka tax invoice. He will give you a commercial bill. In this scenario, you have to raise, as per section number 31(3)(f), self invoice. You have to raise a tax invoice yourself on yourself. Done, sir, and you have to pay the GST under RCM. Okay. Now, the next section which is there, 31(3)(g) goes ahead and says, whenever you are making payment to him, then also you have to issue payment voucher. Whenever you are making to payment to him, then also you have to issue payment voucher. See over here, everyone, liable to pay tax under section number 9394, payment voucher at the time of making payment to supplier. They have not told registered supplier, unregistered supplier. They are telling whenever you are making a payment to them, please go ahead and issue payment voucher. Is the point clear to all? Is section number 31.3 clear to all? Yes, sir, we are all clear. Let's go ahead. I went ahead and started teaching you section number 31. Section number 31.1 I went ahead and told. Section number 31.2 I went ahead and told. Section number 31.3 I went ahead and told. Everyone with me. Section number 31.1 I went ahead and told you about goods. This I told you about services. This I went ahead and told you about RN, BAR, SP. RN bar SP. Everything told in class is only for क्लासरूम पर्पस. गुड्स का केस में ऑन रिमूवल, डिलीवरी और मेकिंग इट अवेलेबल. सर्विसेज का केस में 30 डेज और 45 days in case of NBFI. R for revised tax invoice. N for no tax invoice if the value of supply is less than 200. Sir, bill of supply. A for advance का केस में receipt voucher. Sir, refund का केस में refund voucher. S for self invoice if you are going ahead and receiving those supplies on which you are required to pay GST under RCM. And P for payment voucher. Quickly tell me everyone, is the point clear till here? Can we go ahead everyone? Can we all go ahead? Yes sir, we are all clear till here. Let's go ahead. Everyone over here now. The next one over here is section number 31.4. Section number 31.4 goes ahead and says, Ramesh, if you are going ahead and supplying, see Baba, the revision is only for students who have already studied IDT. If you have not studied IDT since a long period of time, then also I am trying my best to go ahead and cover everything. Slow will not be possible. I am really sorry. Chalo, let's go ahead everyone over here now. Section number 31.4, continuous supply of goods. Continuously, if you are going in and supplying some goods to someone, for an example, I went ahead and told one stationery wala that, sir, when keep supplying the stationery at the month end, please give me a statement. I will go ahead and make the payment. So they have gone ahead and told, if you are going ahead and supplying to someone, for an example, I am going ahead and supplying stationery to someone continuously on a recurrent basis, then where successive statement is there. For an example, at the month end, I am giving him a statement. I should give the invoice along with the statement. Sir, I went ahead and did not give the statement, but there is a payment which is coming. Sir, if the payment is involved, the person told me, Ramesh, come on first and take your payment. Don't give me any statement and all. When he is giving me the payment, I should give the invoice. Invoice before or at the time of such statement or payment. Yes, sir. Point is clear. Continuous supply of service. Be very careful in your exam that continuous supply of service is only when it is for a period greater than 3 months. Continuous supply of service is only when it is for a period greater than 3 months. Greater than 3 months. ठीक है sir. So now, where contract में due date is ascertainable, it is told in the contract that these due dates pay you will make the payment. Due date of payment is already there. On or before that due date, I should give you the invoice. Sir, if payment due dates are not there, then whenever you are making the payment, I should give you the invoice. Due date is not ascertainable as per the contract, then on or before the payment. Sir, if payment is linked to completion, Ramesh, complete the first floor, 10 lakh rupees I will give you. When I complete the first floor, I should raise the invoice. Payment linked to completion on or before completion of the event, I should go ahead and raise the invoice. Section number 31.6 goes ahead and says, Ramesh, what if supply of service ceases before completion? I had to go ahead and provide you some service. Little service I provided. You told, sir, I don't like it. Then how much ever service I am provided? How much service I have gone ahead and provided? That much service ke liye. At the time when the cessation is happening, at the time when we are going ahead and saying, okay, you are telling, no, sir, I don't want the service. That time I should go ahead and raise the invoice. Invoice at the time of cessation to the extent how much supply I have gone ahead and provided, to the extent how much service I have gone ahead and provided to you. Sir, goods sent on approval, they are going ahead and telling, Ramesh, if you have gone ahead and sent, for an example, 1st of January, you have sent some goods on approval, then within 6 months, you should get your goods. 6 months is the time limit. So 30th June, you should get, so supposingly, here approval was given. If approval was given here, then here you should go ahead and raise the invoice. Sir, approval not given within 6 months. Once 6 months gets over, you should go ahead and raise the invoice. That is what is being told over here. Before or at the time of supply means when the approval is given, or 6 months from removal. Within 6 months, your approval should be done. If 6 months gets over, then the very next day you have to go ahead and raise the invoice. That is what is being told in goods sent on approval or return basis. Done, sir. Point is clear. I went ahead and told you section number 31. Listen to me carefully. Section number 31(1), section number 31(2). One told about goods ka case mein when you should raise the invoice, removal or delivery or making it available. 2 went ahead and told services ka case mein you should raise the invoice when. Section number 31(2) went ahead and told services ka case mein 30 days or 45 days. 31(3) went ahead and told RN bar SP. Yes, sir, we will remember. 4 went ahead and told continuous supply of goods ka case mein successive statement or whenever payment is done. Then, sir, section number 31(5) went ahead and told what, sir? Section number 31(5) continuous supply of services ka case mein, which is basically for greater than 3 months. ठीक है, sir. Then section number 31(6) went ahead and told. What is section number 31(6) told? Sir, section number 31(6) went ahead and told whenever supply of service ceases, at the time of cessation, how much ever supply you have done, that much amount ke liye you have to raise the invoice. 31(7) went ahead and told in case goods are sent on approval, at the time when the approval is given, or 6 months from removal, you have to raise the invoice. Now listen to me very carefully. Section number 31 done. Section number 32 says, Ramesh, if you are unregistered, don't raise an invoice. You should not go ahead and raise a tax invoice and collect tax. So, prohibition on unauthorized collection of tax. Unregistered person shall not collect. And registered person, how much is told in the act or rules, that much only should collect. Everyone over here. What is it telling everyone? Unregistered person shall not collect. Registered person collect as per the act or rules. That is what is being told by 32. The next one over here is section number 33. Before we go to section number 33, there is a rule number 46A which is there. Please listen to me very carefully what it goes ahead and says. For an example, I am going ahead and supplying to a registered person. If I am supplying taxable supplies, I will issue tax invoice. If I am going ahead and supplying to a registered person exempt supplies, then I should issue a bill of supply. Okay. If I am going ahead and supplying to an unregistered person, for an example, listen to me very carefully. For an example, I am going ahead and supplying to an unregistered person some taxable supplies also and exempt supplies also together. If I am going ahead and supplying to a registered person taxable supply plus exempt supply together, then also for taxable supplies I have to give a tax invoice. For exempt supply I have to give a bill of supply. But in unregistered person, if I have gone ahead and supplied supposedly to an unregistered person, my shop is there, some deodorant also supplied, some vegetable also. Vegetable is exempted, deodorant is taxable. In taxable, for the deodorant which is taxable supply, I have to give a tax invoice. For vegetable which is exempted, I have to give a bill of supply. Government went ahead and told Ramesh, if you are supplying to an unregistered person, taxable and exempt supply together, you can give one document, and government gave it the name tax invoice cum bill of supply. That is what is told. If you are supplying taxable supply plus exempt supply both together to a registered person, then Baba, you can't give one single document. But when you are supplying to unregistered person, you can give one single document, and the name of the document government have gone ahead and given tax invoice cum bill of supply. You can give one document, invoice cum bill of supply. See over here everyone, taxable supply plus exempt supply to unregistered person, you can give one single document which is invoice cum bill of supply. Okay, sir, point is clear. Let's go ahead. Section number 33 says whenever you are issuing the invoice or document, any document you are issuing, please show the tax amount separately. That's all. Amount of tax to be indicated in the tax invoice and other document. You should go ahead and show how much is the tax amount you are going ahead and collecting. I am issuing you tax invoice. I should go ahead and show how much is the tax amount I am going ahead and collecting. Basically, the tax amount should be shown separately in the documents which you are going ahead and issuing. Section number 34 over here everyone. Section number 34 goes ahead and talks about credit note and then debit note. Section number 34 1 says, when will you go ahead and issue credit note? Credit note is to be issued where one or more tax invoices is issued. I have gone ahead and issued you the tax invoice, but sir, I have gone ahead and charged you more, or might be you have returned me the goods. Then they are going ahead and telling Ramesh, please go ahead and give the front party a credit note. Taxable value or tax charge is more. Means I have charged you more. Then I'll say, sorry, sir, you are my creditor. I'll give you a credit note. Sir, when goods or services are returned by the you have gone ahead and returned goods or goods. Services can't be returned. I taught you means over. Services can't be returned. Goods supplied are returned by the recipient. You have returned me the goods. I'll say, okay, sir, you are my creditor. Take the credit note. Goods services supplied found to be deficit. I did not go ahead and provide you how much was told. If I have gone ahead and provided less, then whatever extra I have charged, for that I have to go ahead and give you a credit note. Done, sir. Sir, section number 34(2) goes ahead and says time limit to issue and declare credit note is monthly return of the September of the next financial year, or annual return ka filing date, means 31st December is the due date. You have to see actual date of filing annual return, or 31st September month का monthly return का due date, और annual return का actual date, whichever is earlier, and your tax liability shall be adjusted. ठीक है sir, point is clear. It says all this scenario में what will happen? Registered supplier may issue one or more credit note. Means for multiple invoices, one credit note can be issued. For one invoice, multiple credit note also can be issued. What am I telling? For an example, I have supplied you 1, 2, 3 invoices may have done the supply, but I have charged you little more. Then for all the 3 invoices, one credit note can be given. Okay, I have gone ahead and given you one invoice. For one invoice, multiple credit note also can be given. Done, sir. That is what is being told. Section number 34 goes ahead and talks about debit note. When can debit note be issued? When one or more tax invoices is issued. I have gone ahead and issued you a tax invoice, but I have charged you tax little less, or I have charged you value little less. Government is telling Ramesh, please go ahead. Taxable value and tax charge is less. Government is telling Ramesh, it should never be less. If you have charged any tax amount or value less, please go ahead and issue a debit note, collect that extra GST, give it to us, collect that extra amount, keep it with yourself. But GST you have to give to the government. Registered person shall, it is mandatory. Credit note may be issued because government doesn't have any benefit because of credit note. Debit note, it is mandatory because debit note may you will collect GST and give it to the government, and hence government is telling registered person shall issue one or more debit note. And always remember, there is no time limit to issue and declare issue debit note. You should just declare in the monthly return of the month of issue. There is no time limit to go ahead and issue debit note at all. Okay, sir, point is clear. Now please come to the left hand side, everyone. E-invoicing provisions were made effective, and e-invoicing provisions may many changes were also brought and effective from e-invoicing provisions were effective way earlier. Before this, I am telling what was the provision as on 1st of April 2021. As on 1st of April 2021, government went ahead and told if you are a registered person plus your aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year 17-18, from any preceding financial year 17-18, 18-19, 19-20, 20-21, any preceding financial year exceeded 50 crore rupees. Exceeded how much, everyone? Arey Sarita madam, how much I am telling? Only that much. If it was an amendment, I would have told you. Please don't confuse any student by telling anything which is happening in the current world now. Can we go ahead, everyone? Yes, sir. Point is clear. What is written in the chart is the final thing. Yes, sir. Point is clear. Let's go ahead. Baba, what is unimportant? Kindly don't comment also. I don't want anyone to get any confusion. Yes, sir. Point is clear. Everyone over here now. If your registered person aggregate turnover in any preceding financial year from 17-18 has exceeded how much? 50 crore. 17-18, 18-19, 19-20, 20-21. If you had gone ahead and exceeded 50 crore rupees, then on you e-invoicing ka provisions are applicable. Everyone over here. With respect to which supplies do I have to do invoicing? With respect to B2B supplies or for exports. When you are going ahead and exporting, for your export ka supplies also you have to do e-invoicing. E-invoicing provisions are not applicable. Amendment, Baba. E-invoicing provisions are not applicable if you are a government department or a local authority. Government department and local authority. What is Student says, sir, what was told by Sarita, I missed it. Baba, what was told by Sarita is not applicable for your exam, so I've deleted it. Can I go ahead, everyone? Yes, sir, we are all clear. A government department, a local authority के लिए e-invoicing provisions are not applicable. Then SEZ unit, then those referred to in rule number 54, 2, 3, 4 and 4A. Sir, it means e-invoicing provisions are not applicable on what? E-invoicing provisions are not applicable to. Remember always, I've gone ahead and given the crux in the chart. In the amendment booklet, everyone, I hope you have done the exemption amendment. Yes, sir, done all of them. Please come to the next amendment here. E-invoicing provisions are not applicable to government department, local authority. Government department, local authority, this is the amendment. Earlier also it was not applicable to SEZ and BGPM. Yes, sir, what is BGPM? B for banking company. So NBFI means you will remember B for banking company. So it is NBFC, banking company, financial institution and insurance companies. G for goods transport agencies. If you are a goods transport agency, on you also invoicing provisions are not applicable. P for passenger transportation services. May if you are there, on you invoicing provisions are not applicable. M for multiplex. Multiplex के लिए also e-invoicing provisions are not applicable. So e-invoicing provisions are not applicable if you are a government department, local authority, or you are SEZ or BGPM. In my opinion, this is very important for your exam. E-invoicing provisions, when are they not applicable? Done, sir. Point is clear. Let's go ahead. Then there's something called a dynamic QR code. Everyone listen to me very carefully. Dynamic QR code with effect from 1st of December 2020, registered person whose aggregate turnover in any preceding financial year from 17-18 exceeds 500 crore. Remember 17-18, 18-19, 19-20, 20-21. Any year your turnover had exceeded 500 crore with respect to supplies to unregistered person or B2B supplies, you have to go ahead. Basically, for your B2B supplies, you have to go ahead and issue what? Dynamic QR code. You, in your invoice, you have to give a dynamic QR code so that people can scan and pay for basically UPI payments. Done. Purpose was to enable UPI payment. Not applicable to those who are referred in 54.2.3.4.4a BGPM plus OIDAR. Remember always OIDAR. So it is not applicable. Dynamic QR code is not applicable in whose case? Dynamic QR code. Dynamic QR code is not applicable if you are BGPMO. B for banking company. So I will go ahead and say banking company means NBFI. P for passenger, BG. G for goods transport agency. P for passenger transportation service वाला. मल्टीप्लेक्स का केस में answer O for OIDR. Basically those OIDR who are supplying from outside India. Yes, sir. Dynamic QR code is for B2C supplies. Done, sir. Point is clear. Now listen to me very carefully. Dynamic QR code related. Dynamic QR code related. There's an amendment which has come. Everyone over here, listen to me very carefully. There's an additional circular which is there. They have gone ahead and issued this additional circular. However, this additional circular is not a part of your ICI ka statutory update and has not very important for your exam purpose. But what I will do is, when I go ahead and upload this revisionary along with this, that amendment may where I had gone ahead and taught this circular, that also I will go ahead and upload so that you guys can watch it. But not very important for exam purpose because in the statutory update they have not given this circular. Done, sir. Point is clear. Chalo, let's go ahead. Please come back. Rule number 54, 2, 3, 4 and 4A. 2, 3, 4 and 4A. I have already told you. Rule number 54. 2 is applicable if you are NBFI, GTA. 3 is applicable for passenger transportation service and multiplex. Always remember one thing. For multiplex, it is told that multiplex के लिए compulsory to issue e-ticketing. Compulsory to issue e-ticket. For a multiplex theatre who has multiple screen, e-ticketing is mandatory. E-ticket will be deemed as the tax invoice and it need not contain the recipient's detail. Also, they have to issue e-ticket even if the value of supply is less than 200. Please be very careful. Very important for your exam. Multiplex can be important. That point is clear. Sir, what about this banking company, etc.? For them, they are going ahead and told that they can issue consolidated tax invoice or any other document. For an example, a bank, when a bank is going ahead and issuing a statement, statement is deemed as the tax invoice. Every month you receive bank's statement. No, statement only is deemed as the tax invoice. They will not go ahead and give you separate tax invoice. Then goods transport agency, they issue consignment note. Consignment note only is deemed as the tax invoice. Then पैसेंजर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सर्विस, बाबा बसेस में दे गिव यू टिकट, टिकट ओनली इज डीम्ड एज द टैक्स इनवॉइस. यस सर, पॉइंट इज क्लियर. मल्टीप्लेक्स थिएटर का केस में they go ahead and do e-ticketing. E-ticketing is mandatory and e-ticket is only deemed as the tax invoice. Next, circular is there. Sir, when a person is taking jewelry from one state to another state, for an example, one person is there from Rajasthan, Mukesh Ambani ka daughter is there in uh, Mumbai, she was getting married, so she went ahead and told, I want to see jewelry. So person from Rajasthan went to Mumbai taking his jewelry. In that scenario, the question which was asked is, sir, when jewelry is going from Rajasthan to Mumbai, that jeweler, does he have to take casual taxable person ka registration in Mumbai? Government went ahead and told, no Baba, he does not have to take casual taxable person ka registration when he is going from Rajasthan to Mumbai. On the way, so that some document should be there, he should have a delivery challan for the jewelry. Jewelry ka case mein e-way bill is not required, only delivery challan is required. When he reaches Mumbai, if any jewelry is being selected by the customer and he sells it, he should take a invoice ka booklet along with him. He should immediately raise an invoice. Because he is from Rajasthan selling the goods in Mumbai, he should be charging IGST. The same circular was given with respect to artwork also, which was sent to art gallery. So sir, can you please tell me what is the art gallery wala example? Yes Baba, listen. For an example, I am an artist. I send my artwork to gallery. When I am sending, that time it is not supply. But supposingly my artwork is over here. One customer comes and says, I like it, I want to buy it. That time it is a supply. I should go ahead and raise the invoice. If I am in another state and selling the goods in another state, I should be charging IGST. In case of artwork and Baba jewelry, always remember, only when the final customer ultimately selects, that time it is supply, because that time the consideration comes into picture. When you are sending for approval, that time it is not a supply. When actual approval is given, that time the consideration gets fixed and it is a supply. You should go ahead and raise the invoice accordingly. Done, sir. Point is clear. Chalo, let's go ahead. Please come to the right hand side. I have gone ahead and told little about HSN code. Harmonized system of nomenclature. HSN code has to be put in your invoice. Sir, how many digit ka HSN code has to be put? They have gone ahead and told effective from 1st of April 2021. Registered person with aggregate turnover up to 5 crore rupees with respect to B2B supplies, 4 digits of HSN code he has to mention, and with respect to B2C supply, it is always optional. So if I am a person whose turnover is up to 5 crore, B2B supplies I am doing, then at least 4 digit of the HSN code has to be mentioned. HSN code actually is 8 digit, but only first 4 digit you have to mention. But with respect to B2C supply, you don't have to mention. It is optional, up to you. Sir, registered person with aggregate turnover greater than 5 crore, 6 digits are mandatory, whether it is B2B supply or B2C supply. A person whose aggregate turnover is greater than 5 crore, whether with respect to B2B or B2C, he has to go ahead and put 6 digits of the HSN code. Student says, sir, e-way bill is required in case of artwork. Yes, Baba, it is required. In case of jewelry, it is not required. Done, sir. Point is clear. Chalo, Baba, come to the right hand side. Right hand side, they have gone ahead and given procedures with respect to return of time expired drugs. It says there are 2 options which are there. What was happening was, when people were going ahead and selling, for an example, I am a manufacturer. I bought powder for 100 rupees. GST paid 18 rupees, 118. ठीक है. I went ahead and made medicine. ठीक है sir, medicine. And medicine I went ahead and sold. I am a manufacturer. I sold it to a trader. ठीक है. Now listen to me very carefully. everyone listen to me very carefully. Now, when I am going ahead and sending the medicine, for an example, the medicine he bought expired. Now, when the medicine expired, sir, if the medicine expired and the time limit to issue credit note has not passed by, sir, can you tell me what is the time limit to issue credit note with respect to an invoice? With respect to an invoice, the credit note should be issued on or before what? Sir, monthly return for the month of September of next financial year or actual date of annual return. Only then your liability can be adjusted. Yes, sir. So he went ahead and sold the medicine. This guy went ahead and returned before the time limit. Means sales return has happened. So, Baba, there is no problem at all. You can go ahead and issue him a credit note. Here there is no problem at all and the liability can be adjusted. Whatever GST you had paid extra on the medicine, means whatever GST you had paid on the medicine, because the goods have come back, sir, what will happen? Because the goods have come back, whatever the GST you had paid will be adjusted. You can issue a credit note. The problem which was coming was whenever one manufacturer used to go ahead, and sell to a trader, ठीक है, medicine, he bought powder, 100 rupees paid on the powder, GST paid 18 rupees, 118. He sold the medicine. This guy went ahead and took 18 rupees ka GST credit also. The medicine expired. When the medicine expired, then they saw the medicine ka credit note also can't be issued. Why, sir? Because the time limit was already gone. And hence government went ahead and gave one more solution. And government went ahead and told, you do one thing, trader, when you are returning the time expired drug, because the time limit for issuance of credit note is gone, liability cannot be adjusted. You do one thing, you don't go ahead and show it as sales return, show it as a supply only. Means when he went ahead and supplied you medicine, when you are returning him, you also show it as supply. Go ahead, whatever was the selling price, supposedly he sold you for 100 rupees, he had charged you 18 rupees ka GST, or 1000 rupees, 118 rupees he had charged you. For an example, I am telling 118 rupees GST he had charged you. When you are returning him, you also go ahead and give him same 1000 rupees and 118 rupees ka GST you charge him. He will go ahead and now receive the time expired drugs which are there are already expired. What he will do, he will go ahead and destroy the drugs. When he destroyed drugs, whatever ITC he had gone ahead and taken 118 rupees, that ITC also will be destroyed. That is what is being told over here. See over here, returned by the registered person, treated as fresh supply, issue tax invoice. He will go ahead and issue you a tax invoice. If he is a composition dealer, he will issue bill of supply. Unregistered person issue commercial invoice. Manufacturer will destroy the returned drugs, reverse the ITC as availed on such return supply. He will go ahead and charge you the GST. You would have taken the ITC of this 118. When you destroy the drugs, destroy the ITC also. This 118 rupees has to be destroyed. Done. Sir, second option is if the time has not expired, then when you have already supplied him, let him go ahead and return it to you and you issue him a credit note. So it is what is being told. Supplier can issue credit note. Retailer returns when he is returning. When he is sending, he will send along with a delivery challan. Okay. If credit note issued within time limit, liability may be adjusted or else liability cannot be adjusted. On destroying the drugs, reverse the ITC. When he has returned the drugs, in this scenario, the medicine ke liye, whatever ITC you had taken, that ITC also has to be destroyed by you. Done, sir. Point is clear. Chalo, let's go ahead. The next one over here is goods sent or taken out of India for export promotion. When you are taking some goods from India outside India for export promotion, always remember, when you are taking from India outside India, that time it is not sale. It is just going, goods are going on approval basis. Everyone, whenever goods are sent on approval, it should either come back within 6 months or within 6 months, you should have gone ahead and made the sale and issued the tax invoice. What am I telling? Sir, since not supplied, no tax invoice is required. When you are taking the goods from India outside India for export promotion, goods can be moved on delivery challan, invoice when the actual sales takes place. For an example, I took some goods from India to the US for an export promotion. In the US, if Buyer buys it, I should raise the invoice. Sir, if buyer does not buy it, I should get the goods back within 6 months to India. If I don't get it back within 6 months, after 6 months, I have to raise the invoice and pay the GST to the government. It says if buyer does not accept, goods come back in 6 months, not a supply, no tax invoice. But if buyer does not accept and goods do not come back also, it is deemed supply after 6 months gets over and you have to raise tax invoice. So when you are taking the goods from India outside India, that time it is not supply, no tax invoice. When supply takes place, raise the invoice. If supply does not take place, get it back within 6 months, not a supply, no invoice. But sir, within 6 months, if you don't get it back, after the expiry of 6 months, you have to go ahead and raise the tax invoice and you have to pay the GST to the government. Done. Sir, because it's an export, exports are eligible for zero rating. You are eligible to claim a refund of your accumulated ITC also, because if the supply takes place, it's a zero rated supply and your ITC ka refund will be given to you. Done, sir. Point is clear. Here there is a small point. Delivery challan. Delivery challan. Rule number 55. What does it say? Delivery challan. How many copies are to be issued? Always 3 copies are to be issued. What is a delivery challan? Whenever you can't go ahead and raise a tax invoice, you go ahead and issue a delivery challan. It says delivery challan, rule number 55, 3 copies of the delivery challan, consignee, transporter and consigner. What? How many copies? Consignee, transporter and consigner. Always remember one thing, sir, you have to raise 3 copies of your delivery challan. Sir, when are delivery challan required? Whenever you are sending LPG gas supply of liquefied gas, then not LPG, liquefied gas, transportation of goods for job work. You are going ahead and sending your goods for job work, it will come back. So when you are sending the goods for job work, you can issue a delivery challan. Sir, transportation of goods for reason other than supply, any reason other than supply, might be you are sending it for approval. When goods are transported for supply but invoice could not be issued at that time, when you are going ahead and sending the goods for supply only, but when you are sending that time you could not go ahead and raise the invoice, so send it along with a tax, along with a delivery challan. When goods are transported in complete knockdown, semi knockdown condition, batches or lot, at that time also only one invoice will be there. Might be you are sending 3 trucks. First truck you can go ahead and send it along with transporter copy of the invoice. The remaining truck, please go ahead and send along with delivery challan plus the original invoice ka certified copy can be attached along with it. Yes sir, point is clear. Here we are done with your chapter of tax invoice. I am again telling it, it's an A graded chapter which is there. The amendment which is there in the chapter, e-invoicing related, very important amendment. What is the amendment in for the chapter of tax invoice? In e-invoicing, e-invoicing provisions are now not applicable to government department. E-invoicing provisions are not applicable to government department and local authority. Plus, it was already not applicable for SEZ or PGPM. Yes, sir, you had already told that. Here, I will go ahead and close my chapter of tax invoice, credit note and debit note. All I want you guys now is to practice lot of question answers and Baba, you will be done with the chapter. I'll go ahead and close my revision on the chapter of tax invoice over here, everyone. Listen to me carefully, everyone. After the chapter of tax invoice, now I'll also be going ahead and uploading accounts and record. Listen to me very carefully. Accounts and record is a C graded chapter. C graded chapter. Only thing, section number 35(5) has been deleted. Basically, the chartered accountant or cost accountant ka audit which was required when your turnover was crossing 2 crore, audit ka requirement has been done away with. That is only the amendment in the chapter of accounts and record. E-way bill which is there, I'll also be uploading the chapter of e-way bill so that you guys can see it at home. And time of supply also I'll be uploading it after the chapter of e-way bill. Okay, done sir. Tomorrow we'll be going ahead and starting with input tax credit ka chapter. I want each and every one of you to complete all your question answers solving till time of supply. Tomorrow in detail we'll be learning ITC ka chapter. Sir, what kind of a chapter is time of supply? Time of supply can be a B graded chapter. E-way bill, this time I feel A graded because they will ask a small question out of this. Done sir, point is clear. Chalo. So tomorrow I'll be going ahead and starting with ITC. Till here, kindly complete all your question answers. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Bye, guys.